Okay, one more time. I feel like I'm kind of leaving you hanging because, like I said, turning tubing can be one of the most frustrating things to do. This is the second one that I'm doing. I just kind of wanted to think it out to where you could do it and get it done quickly, especially if this is your first or second time, or if you've tried a lot of times and you've never really been able to turn really skinny tubing. So, I have my pin top again here, and you remember I sewed it here, so I have a little seam allowance. I opened that up just a little and put the little end of the cap in there. And then I'm going to take my fingers and I'm going to twist it like this, almost like I'm trying to open it. So I'm going to do that. Push it all as down as far as I can get so it's pushed up right against the seam. And then I'm going to turn this so that it kind of opens, so it creates a hole that I may be able to get this tubing started in. And you see gradually it's going to start to kind of push itself, so keep turning your fingers until it starts to push itself in. And then eventually you will have gotten it started. And sometimes you'll do okay. You can get the rest of it done if you could just get it started. So I wanted to come back and show you how to get it started. Oh crap. I think I've broken my seam a little bit. Yeah, I didn't want to leave you hanging. This crap is irritating. Okay, and then I'm going to see if I can take my awl and push some more. And if not, I may have to go back and sew that in really, really well so that there are like no holes for that other thing to go through for my pin top. That's if this doesn't work, so we'll see. And really, right now, I'm trying to stuff all these little end pieces in there. Come on. But at least this way, if I show you the whole process, it's kind of like we're doing it together. Even though I can't directly ask you or answer questions that you might have, at least you could watch my fingers as they try to get this done. Dear Jesus. Ha ha ha! I did it. Oh my god. It's going. Okay, I'm gonna scrunch up as much of this as possible. You should be able to feel the little knot on the inside where the end is. Okay, then we can go for the heavy duty equipment and grab this thing. I really don't suggest using this from the beginning. I just really don't, because you're asking for a headache. Yeah, I think I did make a hole in it because it's just going straight through. Okay, I think I found the corner that I can dig into. And then hold it while you straighten out the rest of that fabric, and just go through the process of scrunching, pulling, scrunching, pulling. Scrunch it up some more, pull, scrunch it up. Oh no, came out. Okay, until it's coming out the other end. Then you can just grab the end, and you should be able to just pull the rest of it down. And just scrunch it until you got all of it out. Yay! We did it! Okay, and then just go press it flat. Bam! Okay, now this next piece is laying out on my floor here. This is how long the ruffle is for the bottom of the skirt. So that's the next piece we're going to sew. That is piece number 6. Piece number 6 is what we're sewing now, and it's very simple. It's 4 pieces, and you're going to sew them end to end to end to end. Make sure all your ends are correct. Like if you're using a fabric that doesn't have a distinguishable back and a front, either side could be used for back or front, then you need to make sure all your seam allowances are along the same side. So like you have a seam allowance here, you go along the fabric some, you got seam allowance number 2, go along the fabric some, seam allowance number 3, go along some more, seam allowance number 4. I can't tell you how many times I have personally made the mistake of taking a long ruffle like this and then sewing the sides together incorrectly. And having a seam allowance on the outside facing me and then a seam allowance on the inside rolling around. So make sure that all your seam allowances are facing the same direction on this big long ruffle, okay? You got 4 pieces to sew together. Go ahead and do that, and we're going to move on to the next piece, and set that over to the side. Okay, so the next piece you need to sew together is piece number 5. So you're going to take that and take all of it off. So you should have 2 pieces that are on the fold so that they open up to make 2 pieces that are about that big. Now this is not both pieces set on end together. This is one piece you're looking at, and then the other piece is immediately underneath that. So what you're going to do, I've already sewn mine together. Over here, like this is the top of the piece and this is the bottom. Over here, this is where we had a circle, and we snipped through all the layers. So there's a snip on this side and a snip on this side in the same exact spot. On one side, on the right side, like if I'm facing the fabric like this, on the right side I sewed the entire thing, okay, from the top of the seam to the bottom. On this left side, I put a pin here so I know exactly where to stop, and there's also a snip there where I took my scissors and I snipped the fabric. You know, I just talked about that. To let me know that's where I need to stop. I'll only do it on the left side. So I'm going to sew from that snip point all the way down to the bottom of the piece. Okay, you just sew a straight line all the way down that side and sew the complete side over on the right side. And the reason why, because you might be thinking, okay, well, what about when you turn it inside out? This is going to be on the right side. Well, if you think about it, we're cutting 2 squares here basically, okay? We're not cutting like a front skirt and a back skirt, you know, that the back skirt is completely different than the front skirt. No, they're both the same square. They're going to be gathered into the bodice pieces. So it doesn't matter which side you leave open, really, because they're both the same piece. Like if I flip this piece over, what's the difference? You see what I'm saying? There's no difference other than where I left it open. Now that side's open and this side's completely closed. So that's why I said go ahead and leave the left side open, because it's just easier to go ahead and do that side. So we did that, we left that side open. Now let's move on to the next piece. Set that piece over to the side. Now we've done all the big stuff. We did the tubing. We did the ruffle piece that goes on the bottom of this piece, that's going to sew to the bottom. And then now we've done the bigger skirt pieces. Okay, so now we need to go and start working on the bodice and getting that sewn together. Okay, now what we are looking at are piece 1, which is the bodice front section, which are these pieces. And I actually have them separated into 2. So we got 2 of these pieces over there and 2 pieces over there. They're the same piece because it was all together like this, and then I separated. Okay, really, really simple, right? Then these pieces we're looking at is piece 2 that was placed on the fold here at the center back area. Okay, and then we just opened up both of the pieces. So there are those. So you should have 2 of these, and you should have 4 of these total. Okay, then what you're going to do, you're going to set aside one of these, and put that over to the side. And it's going to be used as a facing, so that's going to be our facing stack over there, okay? And then you could really just take one of these and put it over there too, in the facing stack. Don't touch it for now, just leave it alone. Now, with this, what you're going to do, you are going to sew together just the right side. So with this fold here, I'm going to pretend this fold is telling me that this is the outside of the fabric. That same fold is over there, so I'll just pretend that that means that that's the right side, okay? So anywho, this is the right side of the fabric. This is going to be my wrong side, okay? So what I'm going to do, that means that I am actually looking at the back of the garment as it is here. And I need to sew together the right side. So that means I need to come over here and I need to connect these 2 pieces like that, okay? This side is going to stay left open because that's the side the zipper is going to go on, okay? That's also the same side that the skirt that we sewed together not too long ago. That's also the same side that it is left open on. So this other bodice piece is actually, once we finish doing what we're going to do to it, it's actually going to piece together here, okay? And we're going to put our center fronts together. So that's how that's going to work, okay? But for the moment, we will put this over here so we don't mix it with our facing stack, okay? So we're going to take this, and if both of these are the correct sides, the right side, the outside of the fabric, we're going to fold this over like this, and we're going to sew that together. Okay, so now that that's sewn together, we sewed it right there on that little seam. So now we're still looking at the back of the bodice, okay? And then this wraps around to the front. Does that make sense? This is the back, it wraps around to the front. This is your right seam. The left seam is left open, okay? So we're not sewing anything to that right now. Now, we're going to set this over to the side just a little bit. We're going to come over here to our facing stack. And once again, we're going to grab the back piece. But this time we're actually going to sew the other side on. So what it's going to look like we're sewing the left side on, but really it's just the reverse of the back because it's on the inside. Now, we need to check and make sure that our mental thought processes are right, because I could be wrong. I do mess up sometimes right in the middle of recording my video. So we're going to pin this here and open it up. And then all we have to do is just join these 2 pieces together because it's facing it. Join the 2 pieces on the wrong side. Wrong sides touching. And then do it like this. And now you should have it sewn on the same side. Or the same 2 pieces should be sewn in the same way, basically. So the seam should be on the inside layer of the fabric. Okay? So this is the one that we saw. This is the outside of the fabric. This is our facing piece, right? So now, separate those again. And then go and take the facing pieces and sew them together, okay?